And good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don in here with you on your Monday evening as we take a look at maybe some stormy weather on your Tuesday. Certainly has been ongoing to our west today, including a confirmed tornado near Houston, Texas, about 3.5 hours ago that actually caused some damage. Now, we're going to talk about what we think will happen across the state of Alabama and Georgia as we get into your Tuesday. But before we get deep into the weeds on this particular weather setup, let me start by saying I do not, let me say this again, I do not anticipate this being a major severe weather outbreak across Alabama and Georgia. This is going to be a marginal opportunity for some severe weather. Yeah, there are a lot of parameters that will be in place, but the $64 million question is, and you hear me say this all the time, will all the ingredients come together at the right time to produce severe weather? There are a lot of different things that would have to happen just perfectly for this to be a major severe weather setup for Alabama and Georgia. And right now, it just frankly doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So we're not trying to hype this by going live tonight. I want to give you the truth, as we always do, and just let you know that there is a possibility that we could deal with some strong storms on Tuesday and a very small chance that some of those storms could get out of hand. So we're going to talk about that over the next 20 or 30 minutes or so. Thank you for joining us here on Dr. Don's Weather. Let's jump right in. Take a look at the Storm Prediction Center convective outlook for Tuesday. And you'll notice that since we did our primetime forecast early this morning, the Storm Prediction Center has now introduced a slight risk of severe weather there from southeastern Mississippi back up through southwest Alabama, up into central Alabama and east Alabama. Places like Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Oxford, Roanoke, Lineville, back down to around Alexander City, Selma, Demopolis is in that slight risk category now. The rest of you, primarily or practically the entire state of Alabama, maybe with the exception of the extreme northwest counties, and a good chunk of Georgia, even up into southeastern Tennessee, western North Carolina, and western upstate South Carolina, now under a marginal risk of severe weather on your Tuesday, and then just general scattered thunder across the rest of Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and the Carolinas. So again, we've been watching this system off to our west for the past 48 hours, and it did flare up pretty good this afternoon in the heat of the day. We were seeing those big, strong thunderstorms out in Texas, had that tornado really close to the airport there in Houston. They went into a complete ground stop about 3.5, 4 hours ago because of that tornado in the area of the airport. And I am beginning to see some damage reports from that area. So storms have been pretty strong off to our west today. Now, the storms, that line of storms will move into Alabama in the cool, wee hours of Tuesday morning. And that line that you see to our west, and I'll show that to you on the radar in just a few moments, will not be severe when it moves into Alabama tomorrow morning. It will be weakening, but it may bring us some beneficial rainfall across portions of East Alabama up into North Georgia, where we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain with the initial push of weather that moves in right around sunrise tomorrow morning. And then it really depends on how much sunshine we get behind that first line of storms as to whether or not we see severe weather develop after noon tomorrow. You know, we've talked about this before. On days like tomorrow, sunshine is not a good thing. We want to stay cloudy and cool and rainy as long as we possibly can. Then when the rain stops, we don't want 4 or 5 hours of sunshine, because if that happens, then that secondary line, the actual cold front itself, could produce a few strong thunderstorms across Alabama and across Georgia. So let's take a look at the timing. That's round 2. Let's look at round 1 first. All right, so there's round 1. This is early tomorrow morning. We're talking 3 a.m. through 7 a.m. Central, and this is way over in West Alabama. We're talking Fayette, Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, west back into Mississippi, right along the I-59, I-20 corridor is where the best marginal risk of strong to severe thunderstorms will be early tomorrow morning. We're talking 3 a.m. through about 7 a.m., and then that is just going to turn into mostly rain as it moves across the remainder of the state of Alabama. Then we'll see. If we get sunshine, we get several hours of sunshine, we could have that secondary risk that comes barreling in here after about 12 or 1 o'clock tomorrow. And here's a look at what the Weather Service thinks it will be possible with that second round. Across East Alabama, we're talking noon through 8 p.m. You get down there around the Auburn, Opelika, Smith Station, Salem, Phoenix City, Columbus area, Pine Mountain. We're talking 2 p.m., 10 p.m. Of course, tack an hour onto that if you're in the Eastern time zone, 3 p.m. through about 11 p.m. That doesn't mean that it's going to be storming that entire time. That simply means that's the window of opportunity. We could have storms right at noon, and then they're gone an hour later. Or it could be 7 p.m. before they start, and they're gone by 8 p.m. That's just simply the window of opportunity, not that it's going to storm that entire time. If it storms at all tomorrow, the threats will be brief tornadoes, brief isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, and maybe some large hail. These storms, if they get up there in the 30, 40, 50,000 foot range, it's very cold up there in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So that's why we have these a chance for large hailstones when we're going through that transition between summertime and winter, as we get those big towering thunderstorms, and it's frozen up there in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so it falls as hailstones. So that's why hail will be a possibility for tomorrow. So what should you do to be prepared in the event that we do have severe weather tomorrow? Have multiple ways to get alerts. Baseline, NOAA weather radio. You got to have a NOAA weather radio. Did you hear what I said? Let me preach it. I'm going to get up on the podium here, and I'm going to say it again. You got to have a NOAA weather radio. Best $40 investment you will ever make in your lifetime. And you have to do that. So if you're in the Roanoke, Randolph County, Northern Chambers County area, go to Stevens Home Furniture in Roanoke first thing tomorrow morning and get a NOAA weather radio if you don't have one. If you're not within driving distance of Stevens Home Furniture, then go to your local department store. They carry those. But go early tomorrow morning. You wait, till if we start to have severe weather, then everybody runs out to the store, and they don't keep a huge supply on hand, and they're all gone. And then you say, oh, well, I'll get one next time. And then next time you do the same thing. And bottom line is you never go and get one. You got to have a NOAA weather radio, folks. That is the number one thing you can do. Secondly, have a good app on your phone. People ask me all the time, what's the best app to use? I don't have a preference. Any app, whether it's a media app or, one of the weather apps that you can find in the different stores, as long as it gives you NOAA weather alerts and it follows you. So you live maybe in Lafayette, and maybe you're going out of town for Thanksgiving and you're traveling up to Western North Carolina tomorrow. Make sure you download an app that's going to alert you when you're in North Carolina for the county that you're in while you're up there. And most apps do that nowadays, but when you go to find one, look at the description. Just make sure that it will follow you and alert you regardless of where you are. Make sure that you have not turned off your WIA alerts on your telephone. Every single phone you buy nowadays comes automatically programmed to receive those Amber Alerts and tornado warnings, flood warnings, and severe thunderstorm warnings with a possible tornado. That's what you're going to get. You're not going to get severe thunderstorm watch. You're not going to get tornado watch. You will get the warnings, however. If you haven't gone in there and turned that off, then your phone's already ready to receive the warnings. If you have turned it off, go back in there and turn it back on. Don't do that. I know the Amber Alerts can be very annoying sometimes, but turn it back on and forget how you did that and don't do it again. Because that could be the difference between you being notified at 2 a.m. in the morning. And understand that you got to be real careful how you set up your do not disturb. Just a normal do not disturb won't turn that off, but it does. Some phones do give you that option. Make sure you don't have that turned off. You got to get those notifications. Have access to a sturdy shelter. If you have family that's visiting you maybe for Thanksgiving or you're going somewhere tomorrow, make sure you understand where the safest place to go in the home or place of business where you're going to be. You always want to be in the center of the lowest floor of any structure, center of the lowest floor. You want to be as far away from the exterior walls as you can get, and you want to stay away from windows. Typically, a hallway closet or restroom are good options. Make sure that you have baseball, motorcycle, football helmet, any kind of helmet for head protection. And then also make sure you have anything to cushion with, such as cushions off the couch, a futon, baby bed mattress, lots of blankets. Make sure that you're fully clothed. Make sure you have on hard sole shoes. This is if a warning is issued for your area and you have to take cover. Just think about all these things and have a plan in case that you do go under a tornado warning and you have to take cover. And, of course, check for constant updates. We'll have live coverage for you here on Dr. Don's Weather. This is going to be one of those setups where if we have severe, it's going to be during the day, I think. Probably mid to late afternoon, in my opinion. And, of course, I have a daytime job to put the groceries on the table. But this is going to be one of those situations where I'm going to have to broadcast from my place of work. So we're going to look a little bit different tomorrow if we have to go live. Hopefully we don't have to, but if we do, Dr. Don's Weather is going to look a little bit different, but we'll still be here with you, and we will have all of the information for you. But again, there's the timing. Up there in the Anniston-Gadsden area, anywhere between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., in the Chilton County, Alexander City, Lineville, Roanoke, Wedowee, Lafayette area back toward Wetumpka, noon to about 8 p.m. Auburn and south down to around Columbus, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you're in Georgia, tack an hour onto that. For instance, up there in Carroll County, you're right there in that 10 to 5 p.m., be 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Heard County, Coweta County, Troup County, you're most likely in that 1 p.m. through about 9 p.m. window of opportunity. And then Harris County all the way down into Muskogee, you're in that 3 p.m. through about 11 p.m. tomorrow evening. Again, I'm not telling you it's going to storm that entire time. That's the window of opportunity for storms to develop and move into your area tomorrow. All right, so, all right, let's look at the radar. Let's look at what's actually happening out there right now. We have a complex of thunderstorms that's in the process of weakening that's moving through northern Mississippi at this hour. If you'll bear with me just 1 second. Get the telestrator set up here, and I'll go do some art for you. All right, so let me Let me stop the loop. You see the direction there, all the storms are moving. Let me bring it current. And now let me show you that this area is moving off to the northeast. This is just for the most part, that is very heavy rainfall up here in northern Mississippi. And that is moving on up to the northeast. So that's going to clip northwest Alabama, maybe the Decatur area, and then move on up it'll cross over I-65, probably still got another hour at least to go before it crosses 65 up there, right along the Tennessee Valley region of North Alabama and South Tennessee. And then at the moment, not a whole lot going on. Here's that main line that stretches all the way back to Houston and then almost to Corpus Christi. The northern part of that, there's not a whole lot of lightning involved in it. That's just mostly heavy rainfall. But if you go down here and look under all this lightning, look at all that lightning right there. That's a ton of lightning taking place. If we go down a little closer, we do have some tornado warnings down here. Well, actually, severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings at this hour. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, which is there's so much lightning on the board. It's hard. Appleby, Texas is where that is. And that is going to be north of Houston, about halfway between Houston and Shreveport. And then right around Houston proper, this is where we had the tornado earlier. North Houston getting a very strong thunderstorm. Look at all those notches on that storm right there. I would be highly suspect of all of those areas right there that's about to move across the northern part of Houston. And we've had some training storms here. This is the storm right here that prompted the tornado earlier. And you can see as it moved forward, that thing got ugly, and it's going back strong again now. Got a good hell core on that one. That's south of Cleveland, Texas, northeast of Houston. But that just gives you a general idea. Another severe thunderstorm down around Bay City, which is southwest of Galveston. Just to give you a general idea of what the weather's doing out there. That's what's moving in our direction. But again, understand that this main line is going to move through Alabama in the wee hours of the morning. So it's going to be weakening. And then we'll have a secondary storm line of storms that will form later in the day tomorrow that will bring us that chance of severe weather. Really, very dependent on whether or not we get sunshine after the rain moves out tomorrow morning across East Alabama and West Georgia. And again, if you're just joining us, this is not going to be a major severe weather outbreak across Alabama. At least at the moment, it doesn't appear that it will be. All indications are it's going to be a very scattered severe storm variety on your Tuesday. But now we have had significant severe weather outbreaks before when we didn't think it was going to happen. So that's the main reason we're here tonight, just to let you know that storms are in the forecast. We don't believe it's going to be widespread. We don't believe everybody will have to deal with severe weather, but you need to be aware just in case that changes. Sometimes it can change really quickly. So you have to be, what do I always say? Situationally aware. You have to know what's going on around you. You have to have a way of receiving severe weather information. You need to have a general understanding on the way weather works, how it moves from, in most cases, from west to east. You need to understand where you are on a map. You look at this Alabama state map right here. And my goodness, at the folks who don't understand this, because A lot of places don't teach this in school anymore, which is blows my mind. But look, so we zoom in. You see all these little lines in here. Those are different counties. You live, if you're in Alabama, you live in one of these counties. Can you look? Don't pay attention to the names of the towns. That's a dead giveaway. But can you pick out the name or your county on this map? If the answer is no, then as soon as I finish this live broadcast, Google Alabama state map. Figure out where you are. I mean, all you got to do is look at it. Google the name of your town where you live. Look at that map. See, remember and recognize what the shape of your county looks like. So at a glance, if you look at the television or you look at a radar or you're looking at Dr. Don's weather, you can tell where the weather is in relation to your county. And we'll put the map in motion. We do it often so you can kind of see the direction it's moving. You know, we have a good time here on Dr. Don with all the whatabouts. We do. But when we go into life-saving severe weather mode, I can't answer all the whatabouts. And it's very easy for you guys to understand this and answer those questions for yourself. If we've got, a massive line of thunderstorms moving through Birmingham, and it stretches from Gadsden all the way down to Demopolis, and it's a solid line of severe weather, and somebody hops in there and says, what about Roanoke? Well, you can look at the map and answer that question for yourself. That line of storms is moving your way. It's going to be bad. In cases like that, I talk generalized weather, all up and down that line. And the whole thing's moving east toward Randolph County, which is where Roanoke is. So you can answer those questions for yourself. Now, if you're just wanting me to give you a shout out for your town, I'm all about it. But I can't do it when we're in life-saving mode here on Dr. Don's Weather. And all you got to do is type in there, hey, I'm watching you in, Frog Eye, Alabama. And I'm on show say hey to you. But sometimes I can't do it when we're really serious about this. So learn weather, understand the map, understand the direction weather typically moves, understand where you are on that map. That's part of being situationally aware. And trust me, that alone can save your life. Most people who are seriously injured and or die in severe weather are those who had no earthly idea that they were, one, under a tornado warning, or two, that it was moving toward their home. They just were totally oblivious to what was going on. And you see this every single time we have a severe weather outbreak and we show live cameras, traffic cameras. And you see it on Facebook and YouTube, where you're seeing these live shots of the tornadoes from the storm chasers, and they're shooting this from a roadway, and there are literally hundreds of vehicles zipping up and down the road, driving right into it. How do these people not know what they're driving into? If you can look up and you see dark, threatening clouds, the next thing you need to do is tune to a source of weather and see, that doesn't look good. Let me see what's going on here. And, that just being situationally aware can save your life. I can preach about that all night long, because someone gets hurt or dies in a storm, 99% of the time it didn't have to happen. And that is frustrating to an emergency manager who preaches this on blue sky days. It hurts my heart to hear of someone getting hurt or dying in severe weather, when most of the time it did not have to happen. Just a little bit of self-responsibility and being situational aware is all you need to survive severe weather. Okay, I've done my preaching. Hey, Mary, I was just talking about your town. Mary's the mayor down there at the Frog Eye. Let me see who else is in the chat room over here. If you've just joined us, I'll go back and recap again before we bounce out of here. Let's see here. Abanda's in the house. Thank you, Miss Jean. I gotta get over there and hit the Abanda Cafe again. Been a minute. Joshua, hey Joshua. J.C. Hendricks, what's up? Stephanie is watching us from Sharpsburg. Good to have you in here, Sharpsburg, Georgia. You're mostly welcome there, Miss Wanda. Hey, Kathy Weathers, thank you. Hey, there's my buddy, Jim Duty. Never forget. Hung out with the chief down there at the Southern Union Opelika campus back during the Tunnel for Towers event. That was a great day, man. That was a special event. Lost our tent. But other than that, it was a fantastic event. They did a great job. And Jim had a lot to do with that. He'll tell you that lots of other folks had a lot to do with it too, but he kind of helped organize that thing. Hey, Miss Judy. Hey, Miss Barbara. Brandon Wiggins, thank you for watching us. There's the Standing Rock Cattle Company. Thank you. There's Denise. Is Randolph County still sending out weather alerts? I haven't gotten one in forever. Well, we hadn't had one in forever. You know, for those of you who are old enough to remember the Maytag repairman. That's kind of what I've been feeling like here recently. I'm just lonesome, nothing to do. Weather, you know, we've had some rain, we've had a few rumbles of thunder, but the weather for the most part has been behaving. We have not had much of a secondary severe weather season, which we are now in, by the way, and that's okay. That's okay. I'd rather it be like this than have threatening weather out there. But there hasn't been any significant alerts to go out, Denise. As far as I know, they are. I'm pretty sure they are. I haven't heard anything otherwise. Agnes has got her NOAA weather radio ready to go. Hey, if you've got one or you're going to get one in the morning, I'm talking to you, get that NOAA weather radio. Make sure you got a good battery in it. You lose power, that thing will still work as long as there's a battery in it. Got to make sure you got a battery in it. It will rock you out of bed at 2 a.m., trust me. There's Amy East and Adam Slay. He is like the Energizer Bunny. Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Jackie Butt's watching us from Roanoke. Linda has her radio. She's ready as well. There's Nathaniel. Nathaniel is a buddy of mine. Hadn't met him in person just yet, but his father came by the Salem Auction House Saturday while I was there, and he let me know that Nathaniel was a big fan of Dr. Don's weather, and I was able to record a little message for you, Nathaniel. Enjoyed doing that, and hope I get to shake your hand sometime real soon. And yes, if conditions warrant, I will be live tomorrow. Probably would not be able to do live long-form coverage unless we have a life-threatening situation going, but I will at least come along and give you updates throughout the day. Barbie's watching this over in Big Springs. Pam is in Glenn, Georgia. Sonoya, the Walking Dead, is in the house. Hey, Becky. Brandon, that's a good idea. If you know, so most communities have mass notification systems now, and most all the ones I know of anyway are web-based. And one thing you can try to do is go to your county's emergency management page. You may have to go to your county website and then look for emergency management or public safety. In Carroll County's instance, it may be under the sheriff's office, and then look for emergency management. And then look for emergency alerts. You know, there's a handful of different companies out there that provide that. We use Code Red in White County. Other counties use there are multiple different companies that provide that service. And sign up for it. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And you will get, in most locations, you'll get the weather notifications as well that way, along with local emergency information. So it's a very good idea to check with your local emergency management agency, regardless of where you live, anywhere in the whole wide world that may be watching tonight. Check your local emergency management office and sign up for mass notifications. They're not going to ping you constantly with nonsense. You're only going to get notified when there's something you need to know, such as weather alerts, maybe local boil water alerts, maybe if someone's lost and there's a search ongoing, you'll get that notification. We typically here in White County, Georgia, we don't use our Code Red mass notification unless it's something significant and serious, because we don't want to cry wolf. And I think most emergency management agencies view it that way. But check your local emergency management agency. I think you'll find it. Walter is in Lafayette. There's Justin. Justin's Barbershop. Hello. It was great meeting you too, sir, and I can't wait to get down there and get my ears lowered and enjoy a steak in Smith Station, Alabama. Super nice folks right there. If you live in that area, you're looking for just look what he has done for Joey Knight. Just look. He's a handsome fella. Thanks to Justin. Jack's watching us from Wedowee. Darlene says Code Red. I use Code Red in Franklin. Now, look, so there is a little issue going on at the moment with Code Red. We got notified today that Code Red got hacked. They didn't get anybody's phone number because that's not the way you can't get to that. There's a link that goes over to your phone number. But they're trying to recover, and I'm not sure it affected all Code Red systems, but it did ours. And there may be a little bit of an interruption in service, but they are hoping they're going to have it working again by tomorrow morning. So if you have Code Red, you might ought to have a backup for the next couple of days. Thank you, Brandon. Hang in there, Misty. I'm going to give y'all a recap here in just a minute. Shannon's watching us up in Wedowee. Hey, Miss Reba. And Debbie is up in the Omaha. Up on the ridge, up in Omaha. Walter's watching us in Lafayette. Roanoke in the house. Alan's watching us in Wedowee. Thank you, Darlene. Josh is watching us in Montgomery. Melanie is in Abanda. Jackie says that she's got her Dr. Don coffee cup ready. Get you one. Get you one right there. All you got to do is go to our weather store. Get you a coffee cup. I know I should be drinking out of one. This is my Tybee Island cup right here. I got to wash my other Dr. Don cup. You go to our weather store. There's a link at the top of the video, and you can pick up a coffee cup. You can get a baseball cap. You can get a hoodie. You can get the What About shirts, the Dr. Don Thunder Buddy shirts. We got it all over there for you. And part of those proceeds come back to support us here on Dr. Don's Weather. But if you really want to support us, the best thing you can do, now, look, Christmas time's coming. Outfit the entire family with Dr. Don merchandise. That would be fantastic. But also make sure you subscribe to us on Facebook. It's only 99 cents a month, folks. And, you know, we've got over 40,000 followers here just on Facebook. That doesn't include YouTube. If just a fraction of that 40,000 would go over there and subscribe to us, heck, you guys could get me full time. I wouldn't have to do that grocery buying job. I could be 100% dedicated to severe weather coverage across East Alabama and West Georgia. So please consider doing that, because we get 100% of that. We only get a percentage of the merchandise, and only a percentage of the advertisement comes back to us. But the 99 cents a month, the subscription on Facebook, 100% comes to us. So I hope that you'll do that. Oh, well, look. Producer Tracy has brought a clean Dr. Don coffee cup. I was showing them this one. It's got all my pens and pencils in it. See, there you go. Right there. Go get you one. Get you some. Get you some. Will you cut that air conditioner? I got this sweatshirt on. This done got hot up here in the studio. Huh? Well, I can't really change right now because I'm live. Let's see here. We got folks watching us up there. Morel, I hope I said that correctly, in Anniston. Cruising with William 1. I'm feeling good today. I ain't got but 2 more days left, and then it's Thanksgiving, and I am so excited. Let me tell y'all. So, you know, we live in the Northeast Georgia mountains. We live between Dahlonega and Cleveland, just a little bit south of Helen, Georgia, north of Gainesville, right at the north end of Highway 400 where we live. And we've been here now for about 15 years. And every single year, Unicoi Lodge up there in the mountains just north of Helen does this phenomenal Thanksgiving dinner. And every year I forget. And every year, 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving, I jump online and try to get reservations. And, of course, they're booked months in advance. Well, last night, I thought, well, let me go through my yearly tradition of getting balked out off the website at Unicoi Lodge and not being able to get reservations. Would you believe I got reservations for 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon? I may have to mortgage the farm to get out of there, but we got reservations. So me and producer Tracy are going to eat lunch at the Unicoi Lodge this Thursday for Thanksgiving. The food is unbelievable. It's a beautiful lodge. It's, you know, if you're not familiar with it, look it up online. Unicoi State Lodge. It is a Georgia state park, but it's contracted out and it's run by local people. Pretty cool place. We're going to eat there on Thursday. I'm not going to have anything to eat probably after about noon on Wednesday. Y'all believe that too, don't you? Okay, great Great question, Standing Rock Cattle Company. There is a Facebook subscription, but I don't charge for Facebook. We may change that, but at the moment there's no charge. And here's why I've never charged for the Facebook subscription. So the algorithm on Facebook works kind of weird, and the algorithm on YouTube is totally different. So I've never charged folks to subscribe to me on YouTube because you need to do that so that you're guaranteed to get notified when I go live. So to answer your question, that was a roundabout way of doing it. No, there is no, I do not get anything from you subscribing to me on YouTube, but you really need to do that to make sure you get notified when we go live. On Facebook, if you don't interact with me quite often, I'll fall off of your news feed and you'll get that notification on Facebook, but it may be 3 or 4 days down the road before you see it. And of course, that doesn't work in life-saving times. So make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube so you get the notification. I do have multiple other options for you, however. If you don't want to use a credit card on Facebook, if you want to support us, I've got PayPal, I have Cash App, I have Venmo. Trying to see if I could get, if you'll look after we finish this broadcast, if you'll look at any of our daily primetime forecast, and we do one every single morning, you'll just go to Dr. Don's Weather on Facebook, scroll down through my news feed, pick out one of, this morning's weather forecast, click on that. At the top up there where it says see more, click on that, and then there's a whole list of ways that you can support us if you would like to do that, and I would really appreciate it. And I thank you for asking that question. Sometimes I forget to explain that, and you helped me remember to do it. So thank you, Standing Rock Cattle Company. If you'd like to help us out, that's greatly appreciated because this is a very expensive venture. Yes, I love doing it, and I would do it regardless. But any help you guys can give me is greatly, greatly appreciated. Anthony and Tammy watching us up in Woodland, Alabama. Amy, tomorrow morning will just be rain. If we have anything strong, it'll be afternoon tomorrow in the Roanoke and Woodland area. All right, Denise, get you some fresh batteries in that radio. Okay, Jennifer, you talked me into it. Jennifer's watching us from 5 Points and waiting for the recap. So let's do it. And we're going to do it in reverse this time. So this is the current radar that you're looking at. This is live, and that last volume scan was at 743. It is 743, so that is current. So nothing severe from about southern Missouri all the way up into northern Mississippi and up into Tennessee. That's just rain, light to moderate with occasional heavier showers up there on the north end of this line. And you'll notice up there northeast Mississippi, it's decaying. I'll stop this right quick. And let's go back right there. You see all that red. So that storm was still pretty strong right there. And that was back at 7:02 p.m. And as I bring it forward, you can see that red disappear. And actually, you can see the storm shrinking in size. And now that is current at 7:44. So this northern part of all of this is weakening as it moves east. And it'll be moving into Alabama here in the next hour or so. I think the bulk of it stays north of I-20 for the foreseeable future. Then sometime after about 1 or 2 a.m., all of this stuff down here will move into central and east Alabama sometime after about 3 a.m., 3, 4, 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then eventually into West Georgia maybe by 7, 8, or 9 tomorrow morning. Now, we believe that the southern part of this line is going to decay as well. So I don't anticipate severe weather out of this initial line of showers or thunderstorms. Maybe some rumbles of thunder. I mean, the wind could get a little gusty from time to time, but I don't anticipate severe weather out of this initial line of showers. Then, as the rain moves away, late morning, 9, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're going to have to watch and see. Do we start to get breaks in the clouds? Do we start to see sunshine? Do we start to warm up? If that happens and we have 2, 3, maybe 4 hours of sunshine, then a secondary line of storms will form, and that's when I would expect severe weather if we're going to see any tomorrow. And it'll be sometime after 1 or 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon before we start to see that develop across central Alabama and east Alabama. Window of opportunity basically is from about 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon through about 7 p.m. tomorrow night for east Alabama, and then maybe 2, 3 p.m. through 8 or 9 p.m. for West Georgia. So it's very conditional. And I think it's going to be marginal even if it's conditional, even with it being conditional. I just don't see widespread severe weather here. All right, so that's kind of what the radar looks like. Now let's go back up and let me show you. Here's the graphic for early tomorrow morning. We're talking 3 a.m. through 7 a.m. This is way over in West Alabama. We're talking about Hamilton down to Fayette, Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, west, back into Mississippi. There is a threat, very marginal, level 1 out of 5, with 5 being the highest threat. There is a threat there, small threat, for damaging winds, gusts to 60 miles per hour, an isolated brief spin-up tornado, and large hail. That's way over in West Alabama. By the time this line clears West Alabama and gets into East Alabama, there's not going to be much going on. But just rain. Then the secondary round would come more in the afternoon. And you can see that the Storm Prediction Center has added a level 2 out of 5 for the possibility of severe weather there in those yellow counties you see on the Alabama map. It does not get into Georgia at this time, but look, if you're in Carroll, Hurd, Troup, Harris, you're close enough. So you got to pay attention to this. So the risk level may be a little bit higher in those counties outlined in yellow for a brief spin-up tornado, damaging wind, large hail. But still, folks, this is not going to be a major outbreak of severe weather. And then the rest of the area's just got a level 1 marginal risk. And you see the timing over there on the right-hand side. And again, we're not talking about storms the entire time between noon and 8 p.m., but that's the window of opportunity when that line could move through any time between noon and about 8 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So that's the recap. We will be watching this for you, and I will be going live tomorrow with updates. Typically in a setup like this, I just kind of watch it and see. And if I see weather that potentially could be life-threatening, then we typically would go live and do wall-to-wall coverage. But this is happening during the day, which means it's during the work day. Thankfully, I work for a county that understands what I do, and they allow me to give updates. I probably can't stay wall-to-wall unless we were to have a really weird situation where we have a tornado on the ground that's causing damage, then, of course, that'd be a different story, and we would do live wall-to-wall coverage on that. But for what I think we're going to have tomorrow, I most likely will be doing updates periodically throughout the day to kind of keep you updated. But we will be here. You will know what's going on. Will there be an auction this week at the Salem Auction House? I should have asked Joey that question before I got out of there Saturday, and I did not ask that question. Go to their Facebook page. Scott, I see that you're on YouTube. So if you use Facebook, go to their Facebook page and see. And I'll try to look that up too when we get off, and I'll mention it tomorrow morning on our weather forecast as well. Does it rain in the North Pole? I'm going to go out on a limb and say it does, but it's in the frozen variety. That's a cool question, though. Hey, Tracy, Google it. Okay, thank you, Chance. All right, so there you go, Cattle Company. Chance has just posted all of our different options there for support. Does it rain in the North Pole? Oh, you didn't click it. Yes. Who would have thunk it? It can rain in the North Pole, and rain is becoming more common in the Arctic due to the climate change. Although precipitation is primarily snow, historically, rain was rare because it was too cold for rain, but of course, it fell in the form of snow. But rising temperatures and melting sea ice are leading to more frequent and intense rain events. There you go. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't know that, but I do now. I just would have assumed that the North Pole stays frozen. But, yep, it can. It can rain at the North Pole. There you go. Yeah, Standing Rock Cattle Company. Chances, if you'll just scroll back up here in the chat room, you'll see all the different ways that you can support us. Hold up, I got to take this call. All right, sorry about that. When I'm live and I get a phone call from my 911 center or the director, I have to answer. That's my area of responsibility. So we're going to wrap this up. Just got notified we've got a subject that's missing, and I'm also the county's UAS pilot, so I'm normally one of the first ones to get involved in stuff like that and have to go out and fly the drone and look for them. So I'm probably about to get that call. They were just giving me a heads up. So I may be having to go out and do a little work this evening. So we're going to wrap this up for now. But again, just a real quick recap. Could we see some strong storms tomorrow across East Alabama and West Georgia? Yeah, we could. Do I think it's going to be a widespread severe, threatening life safety event? No, I don't. I know there's all kinds of stuff out there on Facebook. Let it go in one ear and out the next. Always pay attention to somebody that you trust. James Spann, myself, most of the meteorologists at the major television stations do a good job. Be real careful what you believe on social media, because most of those folks simply want you to click on their site. That's what they're looking for. So that's why they put all that, those biblical times headlines out there to get you to go click on their site and take a look at it, because they make money every time somebody clicks. They increase their numbers, and then they're The advertisers that advertise with them, the national advertisers, pay them more for every click that you make. So be real careful about all of that. We've always been straightforward and honest with you. And, basically what I do is take the information from the National Weather Service meteorologists, who are fantastic guys and gals, and I put that in a real simple term, and I explain it to you and help you learn about weather at the same time. That's what we do here at Dr. Don's Weather. And this March will be year number 8. We'll be going into in year number 8 now. We'll be going into year number 9 in March of Dr. Don's Weather. It's pretty amazing stuff. Well, thank you, Nathaniel, for ordering your shirt. That's cool. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. If you just joined us, wait about 3 or 4 minutes, and this whole thing will be up there. You can watch it again. I give you a good rundown right off the top there to kind of explain what we're thinking is going to happen tomorrow across East Alabama to West Georgia. I'll be along at about 5:30, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast. Don't forget, we do that every single day. Be sure if you don't get notified that it's there, go look for it tomorrow morning on Dr. Don's Weather and like it so that you get notified every day when we post that weather forecast. I'll have a full update before you get out of bed tomorrow morning on what we expect tomorrow. And then throughout the day, I'll have live updates for you as well here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thanks for joining us. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's Weather.